What's up, Average Dad fans? Welcome back to another video. I asked for help, you delivered. Today we are unboxing and I'm giving you my first impressions of the Huawei Mate XS2. Let's go. Now, I know this is not a new device. It's over a year old, but this has been like a holy grail for me. At no point previously have I been in the position to spend close to £2,000 on a wrongly folding device. I would ideally like my screen to be protected at all times, on the rear not visible. But as time has gone on, prices have dropped, and as I say, my subscribers have helped me enormously. So, the Mate XS2, as mentioned, is a year and a half roughly old. It came out just after the Samsung Z Fold 4, and it's hilarious to me to think that, yeah, Samsung bring out the Z Fold 4 and Huawei have released the Mate XS2. The difference in hardware, they're different worlds, genuinely different worlds. Now, the Mate XS2 is 260 grams. It's about 5.4 millimeters unfolded. To me, it looks less. When it's just the screen, it certainly is less, but we have to include that little bump. Now, when it's folded, it's around about 11 millimeters. Think of it like a Xiaomi Mix Fold 3 of the most modern flagship foldable phones. Now, we have to discuss, as mentioned, this is a fully wraparound screen. There is no back protection, it is the screen on the back, and you release the phone to tablet mode with a hinge. I was skeptical at best, to be honest. I thought there's no way this is going to hold up. I'm wrong. So, the reason I'm wrong is because Huawei included a quite genius case inside the box. Again, shout out to Huawei. Not only is there a case in the box, like a really premium case, there's a UK charger at 66 watts, SIM ejection tool and USB A to C cable. Something that other manufacturers can't be arsed providing. Now, like all Chinese models these days, the unboxing experience was fantastic, but feeling this phone for the first time, yeah, it was kind of mind-blowing. Now, essentially, all of the chip and hardware stuff is kind of crammed into the thin bezel-like side that supports the hinge, the volume up and down rocker, the fingerprint sensor, and on the rear, all of those cameras. And we will talk about the cameras soon. So like other foldables, there is not an outer display, then you unfold it to make a larger display. This is essentially a one-display device. You can have it in its folded format with a 6.5-inch 120Hz display. And this, again, like the Xiaomi Mix Fold 3, is exactly like using a Samsung S23 Plus. 6.5-inch, 120Hz, a billion colours. Just sharp, really, really sharp. I think there's like a 520 pixel PPI density, because that matters. But then when you unfold it, it's that same screen resolution, just bigger. And again, sharpness, almost unparalleled, particularly for a device a year and a half old. Again, this was competition for the Z Fold 4, which is just mind-blowing. And I've talked about this in lots of videos. Huawei, for my money, and I've got some experience with foldable phones, Huawei produce the best hardware on any device. And we are going to talk about the software, because there's a few software quirks that you have to know about. However, I might have the answers. So stay tuned to find out how you can get your Huawei like any other Android device. Before I move on to the software, I do want to talk about the cameras. It's a triple setup. There's a 50 megapixel main, a 13 megapixel ultra wide, and an 8 megapixel 3.2 or 3.5x optical. It's Huawei. The cameras are phenomenal. Clear, sharp, colours are super accurate across all three lenses. Again, this is on a foldable device, folks, from a year and a half ago. I would argue the Huawei Mate XS2, say that 10 times fast, the camera setup on that is equal to or better than any foldable device out today, other than the Huawei Mate X5. Now, as a little caveat, this is the global version running EMUI. If you happen to get an Harmony OS version, that supports stylus support with the Huawei pen. Annoyingly, the global version doesn't support stylus support. That's a lot of supports. Quite annoying. Speakers wise, they're okay. Certainly not as good as modern foldable phones such as the OnePlus Open or even the Z Fold 5. But they're fine, and there's Bluetooth 5.1 on the device, so yeah, you're going to connect to your devices absolutely fine. Now, as far as other connectivity, no 5G, obviously, it's Huawei, so it's 4G. Across all networks, there's no like band 20 issues or anything like that. Then there's the chip. It's a Snapdragon 888. For me personally, and I've said this before, anything from the 888 onwards, in my opinion, is plenty powerful enough to do what you want to do. Now, I am not a big gamer, but I know that in my review research, when I was doing research for this device, some guys were using it to play PUBG and Genshin Impact, and it was working fine. I don't game, but I know the 888 chip is going to be absolutely fine and powerful enough to do that. Now, you can get the XS2 and 8 or 12 gigabytes of RAM with up to 1 terabyte of storage if you get the collector's edition. I've got the 0.5 terabyte of storage, and that's more than enough. Bit of a big elephant in the room here. Google ain't allowed, technically. There are ways though. So, I am going to make a separate long setup process for an EMUI Huawei device. So if you buy it globally, I'm going to show you how to install Google Apps without the little Gbox symbol, how to install other apps, again, not having to use the native Huawei store, but other app stores. And I'm also going to, most importantly, show you how to set up the device so that you get notifications on all of the applications. The Google, the non-Google, everything like that. As you can see from my home screen, there is no sign of the little Gbox square in any of my apps. Every single app I'm using is native on the device. So you can change the settings for notifications and permissions on the app itself. For those that don't know, typically you'd have to use Gbox or Gspace, and when you go into the apps and permissions, it's not the individual apps you've downloaded through Gbox or Gspace, it's just Gbox and Gspace, and that can cause some issues. These are all native, so I'm going to make a setup video. I'll try and get to that over the next few days and post it over the weekend, time permitting. So for me, in the first 24 hours, software-wise, has been perfect. I get all notifications on time, every time. In fact, I can hear the phone buzzing away as I'm creating this video. So just to show you, there's my notifications been coming through as I've been making this video. So That's a Huawei Mate XS2. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. So I do have a bit of a madcap idea. I took my SIM out of the Google Pixel Fold and popped it into Huawei. So I have been using the Huawei since yesterday as my daily driver and come across no issues. If that continues, my fourth Google Pixel Fold will be for sale with that lovely looking skin and some cases. So if you're interested in buying a Google Pixel Fold at a very reasonable average dad Black Friday price, DM me on Instagram. And as I was making this video, I had to pause because the door went and this was delivered. The Honor Magic V2 with Google services. Yes, GMS installed through the application form process. Looking forward to using that, comparing it to the Pixel Fold and the Huawei Mate XS2. If you're interested in seeing content like that, you know what to do. Smash subscribe, it really helps. We're so close to 12,000 subscribers now, which is just mind-blowing. If you've liked this video, you know what to do as well. Tomorrow, I will be posting a video telling you all who has won the OnePlus Buds, the Average Dad mugs, and the Amazon gift vouchers. So until then,